News investigates a Nashville mom fighting DCS, essentially the state, to get her son back for 10 whole years. Now, she finally won her case. This is in the Tennessee Supreme Court. But 18 months after that, she still doesn't have custody.
In tonight's Fox 17 News investigation, Nakesha Moore says DCS still won't even let her see her son. Dennis Ferrier has this mother's heartbreaking story.
Imagine fighting DCS for 10 years in court to get your child back, even though you've never been charged with child neglect, abandonment, or abuse. Nashville's Nakesha Moore isn't imagining this. She's living it, and it is as awful as it sounds.
Nakesha Moore's son Marcus had a rough start, in and out of the hospital from day one. Nakesha says doctors told her he would have serious health problems for a long time.
But it was just like, okay, this is going to be my reality. I'll be able, let me take him to the doctor.
While Marcus was in Vanderbilt Hospital, abuse was reported. DCS took him from Nakesha at 6 months. All she could do was hire a lawyer and fight.
They found all these fractured ribs. Well, it's very noticeable that none of these ribs are broken. They're fractured, and they're all at various stages of healing is what they call it. There's no bruises, there's no contusions, there's no other signs of abuse, but you have these fractured ribs.
You also have these images of Marcus's skull that shows soft spots, more proof that this is a medical condition called osteopenia. But DCS didn't buy it. The agency said either Nakesha or the dad hurt Marcus. 10 years later, his room remains empty. 10 years later, she still doesn't have visitation, even after the Tennessee Supreme Court ruled there's no proof Marcus was a victim of child abuse. Yes, the Supreme Court ruled she should not have had her parental rights terminated, but that just threw it all back to a lower court to fight more with DCS.
I had to withdraw my 401k and also borrow money from other people and still in debt. Still in debt.
Why does DCS continue to fight the reunion of a mom and her son? DCS has no comment. The agency does not comment on active cases. Meanwhile, there are just a handful of photos. Those dreadful early days of back and forth to the hospital. She had some visitation until Marcus turned 4. No photos, no mothering, no I love you, just silence and worry.
What do you want to say to Marcus?
That I love you, and I'm fighting for you, and I'm never going to give up. And as long as I have breath in my body, I'm going to keep fighting. And it's not fair. And I just want you to know that I do love you. I love you, and I never said that I wanted you out of my home, so I never want you to feel that way. And I'm still here fighting for you, and you have a sister who loves you, and I can't wait for y'all to meet each other.
Marcus has a sister he doesn't know, Marley, 6 years old. She's in science club and garden club and gymnastics and is taking piano lessons. DCS never even inquired about her. Wouldn't an awful, abusive mom hurt all her children?
Nobody even been to my home to even see my home, to see the interaction with my child or anything. I told them I had a child, and it was like nothing. I didn't even get a reaction out of it.
And isn't that proof?
Yes, that's proof that I'm a good mother, and it's a living witness. She's here.
We want you to think about one more thing. Nakesha Moore has never been charged with any crime. Never. No neglect, no abuse, no abandonment, no charges ever. Can you believe DCS can just take your child away without criminal charges, without a jury trial? All you can do is fight them in court. And even if you win, you might lose.
We have an agency called the Department of Children's Services, and that's not what it is at all. It is a quasi-law enforcement agency who is putting 90% of their resources into prosecuting parents.
Nakesha Moore will keep this room ready with a flicker of hope only a mom could understand.
DCS uses child confidentiality to refuse to comment on its cases, but it also gives them an excuse not to explain themselves, doesn't it? I'm Dennis Ferrier, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.